Welcome, viewers. You're about to see how any business can test a new channel in just a few weeks. In this case, we tested augmented reality for a beauty brand. We called our AR application Project Spyglass. This demo was recorded live.
Welcome, viewers and attendees to today's. So today we're going to be joined by people from Valtech. So Danielle and Pascal are joining us from Valtech, and Ben is my colleague and a solutions architect. And myself, I'm Wim. I'm responsible for sales in EMEA. So in this short intro we're going to give you today is actually to share our enthusiasm about what we have been able to achieve with our well-known Project Spyglass. So why are we here together, and what are we going to see? And just a little bit of background here, what's my take on Project Spyglass and related technology is. So first of all, I would like to welcome everybody. This is going to be a business-oriented demo of Project Spyglass. And it's a great example of how a digital agency like Valtech and a technology vendor like Contentstack have collaborated to build an augmented reality app within actually just 4 weeks. So for myself, I'm not a technical person, but in the over 1.5 years I've been here at Contentstack, what has really struck me is how incredibly fast it is actually possible for business and technical teams to collaborate and launch new initiatives in timeframes that I certainly didn't think were possible before with traditional tech. So it's not just about technology. There's a lot, for the capabilities of the people that were involved in a project like this. But instead of being blocked, let's say, by monolith or legacy solutions, new agile technology has really enabled them to move fast and really been a great testament to what they can do moving forward. So we really trust that this will inspire you, what you will see today, to maybe think a little bit differently about new initiatives you might be considering, and take the opportunity to realize maybe slightly different proof of concept with Valtech and Contentstack. And maybe it's something you thought wasn't possible before, but today could be a nice kickstart to new initiatives and realizing them quickly.
Contentstack partnered with Valtech to make a web-based augmented reality proof of concept in 4 weeks. Our small team focused on retail skincare products and particularly educating users at 3 points in a product's lifecycle. First, can we layer information in the store that will help a person decide what kind of skincare serum to add to their routine? Here we're showing personalized information about how the product fits your particular skincare goals, as well as reviews, potential allergens, or contraindications with other products. You can navigate this information by swiping on your phone screen, and you can look across several products in a display and decide which one you're interested in without needing to touch the bottles themselves. All of this is built to run completely within a web browser without the need to install an app, using standard HTML and CSS along with popular open source frameworks A-Frame and ARJS. And when you've found a serum you like, you can admire its qualities, check to see if there are any allergies you might have to it, before adding it and moving on to the next product in your routine. Second, when you arrive home, you can hold the bottle up to your phone camera to learn how to use it. Using the bottle as a controller and rotating it reveals what the benefits of the ingredients are, as well as clear usage steps. This data doesn't have to be text, it could be video or detailed images. The phone camera is tracking custom fiducial markers, which are contained within the large black boxes on the label. After you've been using the product for a while, we can introduce additional interactions, such as tilt rotations for a customer to leave a review. We can expand upon the content that is shown with personalized recommendations based on our knowledge of your skincare goals, as well as local information, such as the UV index. All of the product information shown is backed by Contentstack's headless content management system and served to our web app with GraphQL. There's a lot more that we'd love to explore and refine here. By its nature, a proof of concept is a tool for starting a conversation. We developed Project Spyglass in the open on GitHub. You can read about our process on Contentstack's blog, or find out more and try it yourself at spyglass.valtech.engineering.
So everything that you just saw here is what we built in just 4 weeks. And I'm now going to hand the stage over to Pascal, who's going to give us a little bit more context behind what we built here.
Yes, indeed. Within Valtech, we have a motto, and one of those mottos is transform by doing. And this is actually a great example of that. Rather than, talk endlessly about concepts and whether it will work, etc., it was just about putting a small team together and actually doing it. And that fits really well with the culture that we have within Valtech. It also fits in our agile and iterative approach, where we like to iterate as often as possible by going from small experiments and building proof of concepts, and then going into actually launching something as a pilot and then scaling it to an MVP and even further. And it is really this approach that allows us and our clients and the partners that we work with to test new concepts, to investigate whether something will actually work from a technical point of view, from a functional point of view, from an end user point of view. And it really allows us to investigate and prove viability from a business perspective. Does it have value for end users? Does it have value in the way you want to market your products, etc.? So this is really a step in the journey towards delivering business value and trying to figure out early in that process whether that goal of delivering business value will actually be reached. So what makes this approach possible? First of all, within software development, we've for the last 10 or 15 years been using agile ways of working that are about all those iterations that I just talked about and making small steps toward the end goal. Also, we see an emerging of new touch points. The web has been for a long time been about this browser on a screen, and now we're seeing voice, AR and VR, touchless interfaces, etc. emerging. So it's a really good time to investigate these new kind of touch points. And customers are expecting this. Customers are expecting the digital world to make it into the physical world and vice versa. So your shopping experience is indeed augmented by the research that you do on your phone, etc. And Mach technology that and Wim also touched upon this already. Cloud native solutions really allows us to start quickly by building these kinds of proof of concept, because there is no time needed to spin up environments and set up infrastructure, all those stuff that in history made it complex. These cloud solutions are ready to go and ready to connect to, and so that's what we used in this case by using Contentstack.
And now over to Danielle, who will tell us a little bit about how practically we actually made this project happen.
Yeah, so first we had to decide what our proof of concept would actually be about. So we held a series of brainstorming sessions with a variety of people, both with Contentstack and internal at Valtech, where we thought about the different possible industries and applications that would have a lot of complex information for users to digest. And we also were thinking about things that we could use to showcase the content and the technology in an unconventional application. We didn't want to just use a traditional website delivery format for this complex information. We wanted to show what Contentstack could do outside of a typical website, but we also wanted to make sure that there was a compelling story behind it for the consumers. We didn't just want to do AR or some new technology for technology's sake. We wanted to make sure it had a reason to be there. For Spyglass specifically, we settled on skincare products due to the complexity of the information there, but also because of the availability of the data required to put together such a short proof of concept. Spyglass also, with the AR content and how we did the demo, which you saw in the video before, gives a little glimpse into post-COVID reality. And we also just wanted to have some fun around this. So those were sort of our high-level goals. Getting from this concept to the actual application in just a few weeks. This was just 3 weeks of development, 3 to 4 weeks. You have to really define what you want to do and why. What is that core experience that you're trying to achieve? It's super important to understand that, because once you have that vision, you can use it to really measure every other decision that you make. If you have ideas as you proceed through, like you discover something new and you say, oh, I really want to add that, that would be really cool. That's fantastic. But will that feature help you reach your original vision and that original goal? And if it's not, then don't include it, because that's scope creep and you won't be able to finish in time. Which leads me into the next point, which is scope management. You cannot be afraid to say no. Again, stick to that core vision, understand what the goals were for the experience that you were trying to build. Also understand your team's capabilities. What are they able to achieve? How fast do they work? What are their skill levels? And understand your timeline. This was very, very short. We knew we needed to get it done very quickly. So you have to scope accordingly. And as such, you can't be afraid to say no. Going into the third point there, though, harness the entire team across your organization. When building a proof of concept, it's not just about the development team. In this case, we used a lot of folks from a lot of different parts of both Valtech and Contentstack. Tap into your marketing teams, for example, because they can help you start to build the messaging and the materials that you need to later sell that work. When you use all the parts of your organization, you can free up your development team to focus on producing the experience that you originally envisioned. So that's really important.
Thanks, Danielle. Ben, shall we have a look behind the scenes at what this looks like in Contentstack?
Awesome. So the beauty of doing this with Contentstack is that we can use a easy to use interface to publish content to more unique or complex experiences for the end user. So on my screen, we have my Contentstack account, and we're looking at all the different entries of all the different kinds of content that I have available. And if I want to go take a look at them or edit them, all I have to do is click in, and I have a simple web form that I can fill out to modify the information that's being displayed in the application. Same way, if I want to add new content, I can create a new entry, choose what kind of content I'm creating. And then again, simple form, fill it out, edit whatever I want, and then I can publish it out. And what's also nice about Contentstack is I can publish this not just to a single place. So if you're using something like a WordPress or an AEM where you go in, you create a piece of content, that content's now tied to the channel that it was created in. With Contentstack, when I go in and edit a piece of content, I can then choose to publish it if I want to publish it to the website, or I want to publish it to the mobile site or the AR application. And that's all available to me without having to go through a development cycle or through an IT department. And what this lets you do is it lets you focus on creating the content and deciding where it should go out and when it should go out for the business and marketing purposes. And it lets your development teams focus on doing things like building new experiences instead of having to go in and change the title of something on the mobile application or update a typo on the website. And I think that is all I got.
Thanks. We, in this brief overview, hope that you have seen how easy it is to actually do this. And as said, it is really meant to inspire you and get you thinking about what the next step could be. If it maybe not be in an AR application, it may be something completely different, but just think about the fact that with the right agency and with the right technology, you are nowadays able to do things a lot faster than you maybe think is possible, and prove this out to the entire organization. It doesn't need to be very technical. It can be very hands-on, and it can bring the teams together in building a great new concept. So feel free to contact either Valtech or Contentstack, and we're happy to help you set this all up.